Alright, making a video. I'm not sure where this one will go. I don't really have it laid out in the old head as I usually like to. But anyway, kind of a response video to a to be serious query being raised. I think there's some sort of, she's expecting again people to read 42 books and research this and watch an hour of that and all this other crap. But anyway, I did watch this video of this British TV series, Dark Mirror. 15,000 tokens, whatever, and just a made for TV kind of tripe. In terms of production values and all that kind of stuff. The plot is kind of silly. Well, it's absolutely silly. But anyway, just kind of a rip off on Big Brother. This idea of a dystopic future where you just ride on a bicycle, a stationary bicycle that's apparently fueling something unknown. Human beings can't. Number one, if they spent all day on bicycles, they would be buff, and none of the people in this TV series were in good shape. So that part was just, plot flaw all over the place. But just the idea of human beings actually producing enough energy that they don't have to consume first is just idiotic. We're not a source of energy. So that part right there is just fail. So anyway, this idea is you ride the bike, you get points, and then with your points you can buy your way out of punishments and purchase pleasures, and all controlled by some kind of system that's in place. And but it doesn't spell out anything that you can just see any rational continuity in terms of there's all kinds of, well, how would that work? How do you make money doing that? How would anybody be able to make a profit off of this, and that kind of thing. So I don't want to get into that element of that's not my complete critique, but and the catch was at the end, there was this revolution, just like in Big Brother, this fight against the system, and they lose, and that's basically the guy loses and just sells out, and that's it. But it's just, so what the moral of the story is, who the hell knows. What the message trying to be sent is, who knows. So I imagine it has something to do with marketing and merchandising and that kind of thing. But you get no feel for the real incentives. You don't get any feel for the real villains. So there's really no point. Again, it's like Big Brother. Big Brother, you never see Big Brother and Big Brother. It's not really a thing. You don't see who's really profiting and how they profit. You just see it as if like the system is just retarded for no good reason almost. And there's just mechanisms to keep the system retarded for no good reason. So these are like all avoidable, infinitely avoidable catastrophes. So in a way, it's like a propaganda film against nuclear power that would just show nuclear power plants melting down and just try to sell us the idea that nuclear power can't work. You can't make a fail-safe nuclear power plant. And it's not the truth. Maybe capitalists can't, but maybe you can't in a commercially viable way. You can't compete with cheap oil, but certainly if you wanted to, you could. So anyway, so in that sense, it just, it's not, in my opinion, any kind of realistic or useful diagram. This is just too much propaganda. But it's like all of science fiction. It's all got these huge plot flaws. The Star Wars future where everybody has the freedom to fly around in their light cruiser, when we know if people had that freedom, they'd blow up your planet with it. So we know that could never exist. That kind of freedom can't be compatible with human frailty, human flaw. You can't combine those two. So you either have to get rid of the human flaw, or you have to get rid of the technology access. But you can't have both. You can't have the liberty to be a unique human being and have unlimited technology. That ain't going to happen. So those are all fake futures. And, the truth is that, we're just something to be comforted. We don't have any value. You can't make a battery out of us. You can't make a doorstop out of us. You can't make anything useful out of us. It's just the truth. We're infinitely replaceable in terms of so much of our functionality. We've already demonstrated that. Technology is now making technology. Robots are building robots. We are becoming superfluous to progress in a lot of ways. We're certainly decades away from, full, complete destruction of human usefulness. But in a way, the system, can just keep rolling without us. We're not becoming necessary anymore. There might actually be a day where the entire gross domestic product, is measured based on the production of non-humans, and the humans are just completely superfluous to making money. They're just useless. Have the robots buy the stuff. That you force the robots to make. But because the convolution of the real value has gotten so preposterous. What is the real value? And the value is just in the human need. The need, the demand side of the equation is where all the energy comes from. The whole thing feeds on demand. And the suppliers just trying to find a way to make a buck off of feeding the need. Once you can do that for pennies a day, once you can synthesize the satisfaction through just programming, through just perception rather than reality, there's very little economy to exploit, I guess I would say. You're going to have a hard time selling potato chips in a virtual world. Have a hard time having a direct link to demand to be able to do it, I suppose, unless somebody gives it to you. Unless somebody gives you ownership of somebody, that can't happen. So we'd have to voluntarily give away our rights to some owner, the Google menace or something, to end up owned. I don't see that happening when it's spelled out anyway, when it becomes a little more real that that's what you're doing, because you choose not to do anything for yourselves. You've kind of lost the focus, the we the people focus, and you've all become we the defenders of corporate ownership. We the too selfish to do anything collectively. We the too quick to naysay and nitpick to be bothered doing anything ever that doesn't improve our personal life. We, the special fucking interest. Those are what people are living for. But anyway, the question of what is, where what would a singularity look like even if you could make one? What does a real heaven look like even if you could make one? Even the Mohammedite might find his 70 virgins redundant after a while. Perhaps he would say, I want to go golfing, I want to do something else. Maybe he'd want to play a video game in a three-dimensionalized virtual world instead of hanging out in a tent, eating grapes. But that's again, it's just about the fact that we get hungry, we want our gratification, We take our nap, and then start all over again. Get hungry, get gratification, take a nap, start over. Redo. And that's all there is here. And there's no way to, I suppose there's no way to show it graphically, to show the truth of it without it being pretty fucking ugly. I mean, I guess, they use like birds and bees as metaphors for sex. Yeah, because penis, vagina, in and out isn't too attractive, maybe. Maybe it's a little erotic, but it's not really like, gee, that's so sensible. That just totally makes sense. That totally is brilliant. No, it's, it has a crude stupidity look to it. It's just, it is dumb, stupid looking. And it's kind of got the feel of it anyway. So you kind of get that, this isn't really singularity, is it? Is that what singularity looks like? Puckered anus. Yeah, that doesn't, somehow it just doesn't seem like the singularity should be that gaping, that obvious. It should be a little more elegant somehow. But the truth is, that's where we're heading. We're just heading for little nerve endings that you tweak with your finger and go ooh, ooh. And, that's all we got. That's all this mechanism is. And you're not going to be able to write yourself a script of the future that is going to really have any durable sensibility. All you can do is imagine some kind of yachting adventuring. Yes, I go out in the yacht and the babes in the bikinis and everything's perfect. And yeah, you can synthesize that video game to play, but that's all you're doing. If I show what you're really doing, if I show your real brain in a beaker, there's going to be an idea that, oh yeah, this does look kind of lame. This does look kind of fake and phony and false. And why would I bother? What's the driving force or necessity? Hi. Out again in the rain, huh? A little family fun. It's nice. The family that fights together. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I think they're new to the neighborhood. Yeah, so they're just like, hey, look at this. There's a park and we can ride bicycles. And it's so nice. And, but it'll wear off. All become fucking criminals in just a few days. Mugging people on this path. That is nice. It's nice, It's nice when people are virgins, like a virgin. And it all kind of degrades and turns into like a slut. Touched way too many times like a slut. I'm sick of this fucking bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, stinky whore. But that's it. It's just, what's the form of debauchery? And that's all you are. You're a debauchery. If you look deep inside yourself, right, that's all you're going to find. A little wanter, a little needer, a little, touch-meer. And there's nothing else more complicated. You have little needs. You've got to play out little scenarios so you can feel like you're somebody. You need some accomplishment. You need some comfort. You need to be tucked in. And you need somebody to say it's all alright. Whatever it is. But you're just feeding a need. And the need is shit. It's just crap. And you can pretend it's not a hairy anus, but that's all there is. And, at the core, it's just all this crude biological soup. And you just have to be, you happen to be one of the more interesting chunks of soup. That's it. You're just a chunk. You're not going anywhere. You're not, you're of no value, no function. All you can do is feed needs. Feed your own, feed the ones in the world, feed your own, feed theirs, feed yours, feed theirs, feed yours, feed yours. You're just going to feed need. And then you're just going to bitch because something's conspiring against you, because it's needing to exploit you. It's needing to win. It's needing to be better. Yeah, just like you. So don't lie. I'm not saying corrupt, this whole corruption thing, that, absolute power corrupts absolutely or whatever, because it doesn't have to. But the only way it can't is the person with power has to find even their own need obnoxious. They have to find the very function of need. They have to see it for what it is, not to be corrupted by it, because then they'll just be another needer. They'll need the power, instead of wanting to use the power to do what needs getting done. They'll just feed off the power themselves. They'll just use it to serve their need. Anyway, I believe that's enough. So sorry, I don't, not incredibly focused video, but it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. It really is. It's quite adequate, compared to everything else. Yeah, by comparison, it's a perfectly reasonable jump. All right, till next time, and such.